that the DEA and all the agencies of the United States would never be able to destroy it at the rate I would help create it, and that ultimately I, one man, would neutralize the work of the entire DEA with their multi-billion-dollar budget.
He calls himself the Prince of Pot, but he may become the Prince of Federal Prison.
I just was watching 60 Minutes, and there's like a whole story about Marc Emery.
Prince of Pot.
Yeah, and how they want to, extradite him and all that. The guy, I would love to interview that guy.
See, because I have this idea that none of this is any good unless you have to face temptation. I'm just saying there's no virtue without temptation. So I just make sure really fine, beefy bud.
Smell it. That's one thing that's kind of nice.
Well, you see, even that's giving into a little bit of it right there, eh? So I'm corrupting you just by being in the proximity. Just to let you know, I've seen more grow rooms than anybody else alive in Canada. I think 400 or so, and been arrested 22 times, jailed 17 times, raided 6 times, all for pot. Nothing unsavory. I, if anything, have a good reason never to have to use drugs, and typically I only experiment with the psychedelics once every 6 months or a year and smoke pot, right? And I don't believe I have any drug dependencies, and having treated drug addicts, I can see what... By the way, do you know what? Of the 65 people I treated, 60 of them did not have their biological father in their life for all or part of their childhood. And that, I found, was the most key fundamental component of every single drug addict almost, is that their biological father was not there for a lot of their prepubescent life. I found that pot made me more patient, made me a more creative lover and a creative writer. But if you smoke pot, you get more expansive. Explanations get longer. We paid for the Supreme Court challenge in Canada. They got the Supreme Court to try and make pot legal. We lost 6-3, right? Everybody wants to fuck. As soon as you discover it, let me drink your thing. Don't worry, my cold sores aren't contagious. The thing about pot, I remember, for example, when I shot a puck through a window, I found that it was a lot easier to raise kids after a joint. A lot of people live in inner cities. We should enrich our community with more money, more weed, more everything, right? Are you in the performance industry? Are you out of Los Angeles?
I'm a stand-up comedian. Holy crap, I feel like I went through some sort of marijuana gauntlet.
You gotta find him.